I'm Rosa Frazier, and I teach dance here at A.B Miller High School. One of the main things that I've learned about myself is that I want everything to be relevant. I want everything to be connected.
She takes everything that she learns outside and incorporates it into her teaching, which is why I think she has such a buy-in with her students and why the program is excelling in the ways in which it is.
She's not a person that likes to just do the same thing static every single year. So I think that's why I'm always impressed by her work with the kids on stage, in the classroom, and just in general, because she always has something new and fresh going on.
I relate the assessments to real life scenarios. So when students are going to take an exam, it's not really just called an exam. We might call it an audition. So now when students come in to their audition, they have to take their number and they have to wear their number as you would in a real life audition.
When she's giving instructions, she's not only modeling and correcting students physically, but she's orally giving instructions, and she could be tailoring that to 5 different students at the same time during a lesson. She's never stopping. So it's constant formative evaluation and constant adjustments. Not just when the students had completed a task, it's during a task. And so it's a completely ongoing process through every rehearsal, start to finish.
She's coming in with a fresh and new perspective, but then I'm coming in with kind of the time and okay, well, hey, if we do it this way, these are the things that will probably happen. So I think that those two things work well because it allows me to freshen up my ideas, but then we also have the experience or the expertise that comes with, all right, well, if we do it this way, this could potentially happen, and we're balancing both of those things. And a lot of times we will do things the new way, and sometimes we'll do things the old way. It just depends on what's best for students, and I think that that's probably the best part of it, is that it's always about what's good for students.
We collaborated with our classes, where my advanced students and her advanced students each pitched an idea to have their piece be produced, and it was a good collaboration in the sense that we were able to see visually projected onto screens and objects the work of my students, and in unison with that, her students' actual movement on the stage, and people seem to really respond well to that and to just the impact that it had as a whole artwork.
She herself is a performer, and when she goes outside of the classroom and she is part of the professional world in terms of dance, and she's able to come back into the classroom and bring those real life experiences, I think that's a way for her students to really bond with her and her teaching style, because she's able to tell them, this is the way that it is in the real world. This is how you're supposed to perform.
Ms. Frazier, she develops short-term and long-term goals in this program. For example, the long-term goal is to always be aware of our body and our limbs in terms of kinesthetic awareness. So let's say we're going across the floor, she'll have us do a phrase and just focus on one part of our body at a time. So it could be our arms one time, and then next it'll be our leg and how that influences our movement there. And then at the end, she'll be like, okay, so do it again and focus on every single part of your body at this time.
She also has us listen to the music, and then we can she asks us what does it make us feel at that time, or how does it influence our body. And it's a short-term goal in class to make us really focus on the music and how it makes us emotionally feel. And then long-term, it's really focusing on the details, in life also. You can take all these things she's taught us out into life to focus on the little things and outside of here.
For every class, she brings in different movement qualities, and it could be every week or every day where it's something new, whether it's quirky movement or very angular, circular, it's always changing up.
She organizes her units and ideas through a very straightforward, detailed manner, and her process first begins by she tells us her idea, which is just her base foundation, and from there we take that information, and it's kind of our responsibility to disintegrate and to put our own meaning to it, or our own whatever we feel that movement is or anything.
At the end, when you think about it, it's like, oh wow, like we did all of this like big thing, but so she breaks it down and does step by step, and like we're gonna do this and this.
This year, I have found that I've invested so much time in the students as if they were my own kids, and things have shifted, and so I still feel sometimes like I'm floating, and but floating and not knowing is okay too. And that's something that I often share with the students. It's okay not to know. It's okay to feel lost and confused. Embrace those moments. Embrace adversity, because out of that comes a person with clarity, comes a person who's able to value and honor what she has done. So, aquí estoy, here I am, and we're making it happen here in this A.B Miller dance program Empire.